Everybody, welcome. Let me just start with our opening prayer and then off we go. O great Spirit, Father Sky, Mother Earth, the winds, the waters, my Father, my Mother, Atanaha, all that is. We thank you for our lives and we thank you for these good people. We thank you for all that we are and all that we are to become. We dedicate our time spent together and our relationships with one another to you. We ask that our suffering be ended and our pain be lifted to the love and to the peace that lay beyond. Aho, Amen, Namaste. Okay, so let me just start. Okay, so Gabriella from yesterday is saying, Dear Sky, can I please have an angel reading card for today? Are there any blocks regarding my health, Gabriella? So what I'm feeling as I tune into you is that there's a lot of anxiety coming up. That's the first thing I'm feeling in a huge way. So anxiety is like the root cause of gut problems and digestive issues. It's the root cause of high stress changes the nervous system from repair, renew, restore to fight, flight, freeze. So the body, when it's in fight, flight, freeze, is not repairing, is not renewing, is not restoring. It's just in this high inflammation run, get away, unstable and secure mode. So it's really messing with your nervous system. Long-term, it actually does. Long-term fight, flight, freeze actually causes brain damage. So addressing this anxiety is a big deal. So the card that I got from you is what's it called? Blossoms of the Sky Dancer from Kuan Yin. And she says, creative energy and light, right, are causing blossoms to descend. In the same way, when we tap into our spiritual power of creation, we cause our life and all of life around us to bloom. Creation is a natural spiritual power within you, beloved. Force can slow down the process. It's time to stop striving and to allow your manifestations to occur. Trust, let go, and allow your creation to flow. Okay, so we're into the guidance that's coming for you is really about working on trust issues, because that's what's causing this anxiety, this not having faith that things are going to work out for you, that your future is good, that your life is blessed. And then it's definitely causing gut issues, liver issues. I can just feel like a knot in my liver when I'm talking to you. So that's where I would work. I'm going to call on Archangel Raphael and do an instant healing for you. But that's where I'd focus my healing sessions. There we go. Just releasing all this anxiety. Just dropping into trust. Okay. Let me see what comes up. Okay. Sarah Messiah saying, Hi Sky, can I have a scan about money and abundance blockages? Thank you so much for your previous readings. Okay, let's do a scan. Okay, so they're taking me straight to your heart chakra, and I'm seeing self-love as the biggest financial block. There's a real belief that you're not. I want to say the word worthy, but it doesn't feel like the right vibration. Like I want to go to worthiness. It's the closest thing to it. But what I'm picking up is there's just this belief that you're not that likable. You're not like people just don't understand you or get you. And there's this feeling of I don't know if you were bullied, or I don't know if you were kind of like that covert control in relationships where somebody's not letting you have friendships, or not kind of keeping you in the house, but you don't understand that it's their doing, like when your boyfriend flirts with your best friend, or they create fights between you and other people. Like there's this energy of you just don't feel like you're lovable, and then you're like, well, people wouldn't like me. And that's a big block when it comes to increasing abundance, making more sales, getting recognized at work, because everything from getting a job comes from word of mouth to increasing sales comes from people connecting with you enough that they understand the value of your work and your contribution, and therefore they're comfortable supporting you more and honoring that in an appropriate way. So people seeing your worth has a lot to do with them liking you and them loving you. So let's just take a moment to send unconditional love to this part of you that feels unloved, or that feels that people just don't like you, or they'll judge you. Any parts of you that have been kept down by others or been sabotaged by others, let's send all those parts unconditional love too. And let's just show you that you are likable, you are lovable. Okay. Sandra's saying, hello, Sky. Would love a reading regarding my direction in life. Feeling very stuck. Thank you and many blessings to you. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, so you got Margaret Poiret, the mystic of divine love. Love is divine and I am nothing except love. Margaret Port is the essence of the divine love and the truth that all we are is love. Margaret is a French being born in the 13th century. And the movement was a spiritual revival among women in the Middle Ages that emphasized the imitation of God's life. How can I feel the love I am more deeply? Love is divine, and I am nothing except love. This saint is a courageous truth teller, and the truth of her experience is that love alone can set us free. Not the love another might give us, not the love of family and friends. All of this is powerful and significant, but the true source of love for us is the fact that we are a soul and that the soul is in union with the divine. She reminds us that we've forgotten that love is the essence of who we are and that true love is found within. She says, love has no beginning and no end and no limit, and I am nothing except love. This is a time to own and look for the truth more fully. It is the most profound and radical act we will ever take, knowing the love we already are and already have. Okay, so there's a real energy coming through of letting go of everything around your heart. I think there's been some kind of a heartbreak or a relationship situation that's made you put up walls around your heart. And it's a very big paradox that often healing from the greatest atrocities requires our vulnerability. It's one of the great paradoxes of healing, right? That our greatest strength comes from vulnerability. But you're being guided to take down this wall and to look at what you already have, and that the love is already within you and that you already have everything that you need. So everything outside is a mirror of what's going on inside. If you can't recognize how gifted, how special, how miraculous you are, then you will not be able to attract friends, partner, a team, clients that understand how great, how amazing, how powerful you are, right? If you do not have faith in you, you will attract other people who do not have faith in you because it's showing you your wound. Why is it doing that? Is it just doing it to be a pain in the ass? It's not doing that to be a pain in the ass. It's doing it because it's the biggest block to you going closer to God's love and to you remembering who you really are. It's incredibly painful to live your whole life not understanding how beautiful you are, and not just physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, how important your contribution is to this world. So Creator and the universe don't show us where our blocks are for fun. They show us because they're trying to get to us. What we seek is also seeking us. So we're looking for love, especially divine love. God has been looking for us since before we were born, right? Connecting with our soul, wanting that deep relationship with us. So when we start looking for a relationship with ourselves, with our divinity, with true love, it's already been looking for us for a very long time, right? What we're seeking is also looking for us. There we go. Now, a big aspect of this card was also living in alignment. So a lot of us confuse theory with action, and they're two completely different things. The map is not the territory. You looking at Mount Everest is not the same thing as you climbing Mount Everest. Anyone that has ever walked up a hill in Scotland knows that if you, the first, like you look at, you're like, oh, that's not that bad. And then you realize that the top is actually much further away than you thought. And that what looked like a straight climb is actually a series of like 20 or 30 very big hills in between you and the actual summit, right? So very often when the the path is, the map is not the territory. If you look at a map of the rainforest, it is not the same thing as making your way through the rainforest. And that's the difference between teaching from a place of embodiment and from a place of action versus teaching from a place of theory and just having read other people's experiences, right? So there's so much that I've learned within the last 2 years in business and also in healing, because I'm in the ground, with my hands dirty every day. And there's so much stuff that I now look at and I'm like, that is just completely not true. And some stuff that I look at and I go, that's actually put out there to sabotage people. Okay. So, but that only came after a lot of experience, right? I only came after a lot of experience. The other thing that comes with a lot of experience is you understanding, they call it like the privilege of knowledge, which is that when you've known something for a long time and you've lived it, you take it for granted and you can forget how different it is in the beginning, right? So it's one of the best things about fresh students or new faces is that they remind you not just of how far you've come, right? But of how much the game has changed. So, becoming a spiritual teacher before COVID, before AI, before a lot of the shifts that have taken place in 2023 is a different game than it is now, right? Teaching abundance when you were at the end of one of the most abundant times, almost one of the golden ages, versus teaching abundance in the middle of a recession, it's a different game. It's a different collective consciousness. So it's honoring the fact that the path can change. The same way that a path in nature can be flooded by something, or it can be, needs to be rebuilt, or it needs to be changed if the terrain changes or if the weather changes, right? So it's exactly that same concept. It's, are you being what you are preaching? Are you walking your talk? How in alignment are you, right? That's what we're being asked to look at here. How truthful are you being? And we kind of touched upon this yesterday with, we were reviewing a bit of what we've been covering in this really deep, tough part of medical intuitive. And we were looking at, have you really gone back and looked at your fears in your past? Have you really faced it? Or have you done like 10 healing sessions and you think your whole life is resolved? Right? How much courage did you have? Did you face the fear, or did you play it shallow, or did you play it deep? Where are you coming from in this space? Right? So it's that same connection with yourself. Where are you not? What game are you playing? And where is that game not, I am living my divine life purpose? Because if the game you are playing is I am living my divine life purpose and I'm playing full out to manifest the glory of God on earth, then where are you not living that? Right? What is the reality you are creating? What is the game that you are playing? So, but that questions are so powerful, because questions are what generate solutions from our unconscious mind and also from our soul. So the angels and the saint that came up for you are really saying, what truth are you not living? Where are you teaching something that you know is important for you, but you're ignoring it or avoiding it or bypassing it, right? Because you think that it would just be too hard, or you couldn't face the pain, or it just doesn't work for you, right? And it becomes a mask you wear instead of the way that you live. Okay. One of the questions I used to ask myself a lot that might help all of you is, if you start asking yourself, what would I do if I really believed this was true? Right? What would you do? How would your behavior change if you really believed that what you say is true? Okay, Janice saying, good morning, Sky. May I have a reading, please, or any messages from the angels? Thank you. Yep, let's have a look. Okay, so, interesting. You can't make this stuff up. Green Tara, the Buddha of enlightened action. My soul informs my every step. I do what my heart compels me to do. Green Tara embodies the emboldened state that overcomes fear and allows us to take action on what we know is right. Tara is a female Buddha in the Vajrayana Buddhist tradition. She is known as the Mother of Liberation. Because her name is derived from to cross, Tara assists all beings in crossing the ocean of suffering to liberation. According to Tara, eons ago, she incarnated as a king's daughter. She showed such spiritual excellence and such profound compassion that she impressed the monks. They told her that they would pray for her to be reborn as a man so that she could reach enlightenment. She responded by enlightening them. She told them that there's no such thing as male and female. The ideas, projections, and expectations that we impose onto the male form and female form are not real. They are contrived. Form is emptiness, and emptiness is form. Tara vowed there and then before all the monks that she would remain a female Buddha for all lifetimes until all beings were liberated from the illusion that a person's sex determines their ability to become enlightened. Tara had 4 different types of enlightenment activity and divine attributes, depicted symbolically in the colors red, white, black, yellow, and green. Okay, she is the embodiment of compassionate action or enlightened action. Her green color signifies vigor and vitality. She is the action we take from a deeply rooted place within our heart. She's the energy that seeks to align with what will free us and liberate others from our suffering. That was powerful. So can we bring Green Tara in for you guys and help her shift the blocks that you have to accessing your enlightenment now, to believing you're limited by anything in human form or in the human world. All is infinite mind and its infinite manifestation, for God is all in all. There we go. Love is love is immortal truth. There we go. So sometimes, and this is kind of what we're I think a lot of people, especially like now that the new year thing is past and people are in the grittiness of their lives, they're just getting stuck back into the familiar patterns and they're starting to pull away from Creator. So one of the biggest things that stops you from taking divine action is taking responsibility. Right? When you start taking responsibility, you feel that, right? It's no different than when you go on the treadmill for the first time and you're running and you're out of breath. And then 2 weeks later, you can run the same amount at the same speed, but you're no longer out of breath. Spiritual stamina is created by practicing courage. And the same way that physical fitness is created by practicing exercise, right? So if you practice suffering every day, then that is what becomes stronger. But in the beginning of any new habit, okay, it will feel weird. You will feel resistance to it. I've even had people say to me, "Oh, I resent having to meditate every day. I resent doing my positive affirmations every day." And I used to look at them and go, "Do you resent sitting and thinking negative thoughts all day long? Because that's what I would resent." Right? So people will often see like how difficult it is to change, but they become so used to the energy that they're in that they don't understand how difficult their current situation is. And you see it with toxic marriages, you see it with toxic friendships, you see it with toxic work environments. People are just so used to their environment that they've unconsciously become completely in denial of how much pain they're in and how much pain it's causing them, right? And then what looks like pain is changing, where the reality is the change is the freedom that you have been seeking, right? And the pain that you are feeling is the pain you have been denying, repressing, avoiding, bypassing for years, but you have been in it every day, right? And if you'd given yourself permission to feel it, you wouldn't have been able to stay where you are. And that is the beauty of pain. That is the divine purpose of pain, is to show us when we are no longer living in alignment with love. We're no longer living in alignment with who we really are. And sometimes that's because of an external manifestation, like the job environment or the toxic friendship or the toxic relationship. And sometimes that is because we have not dealt with our traumas, right? And then we are reliving those cycles and we're remanifesting them. But both, right? Both block us from becoming who we really are. Both cause us to grit, both cause us to contract, both cause us to shrink from love and from our divine life purpose and from humanity. So let's just take a moment to release every place where we have been pushing away the changes that we know are necessary because we think they're going to be hard work. And I want you to shift the inner language to, this is my life we're talking about. Of course I'm passionate about it. This is my life. Of course changing is worth it. Of course the time, the energy, the money, it's necessary. Okay. IV is saying, hey, Sky, can I please have an angel reading for my career and finances? I quit my full-time job last year to become self-employed and went from having no debt to 100K in debt. Thank you. Okay, so they're immediately showing me that there's a change in vocabulary. So instead of saying that you went from having a job to being 100K in debt, well, I want you to shift it to, God is my employer. I am divinely employed. I'm employed by the ultimate chairman of the board, because that's what God is, right? And I am very well paid for the work that I do. And then we're just going to bring in the visibility angels to help you start communicating every single day about what you offer, right? What sessions do you offer? What is the price? How can you help people? Every day you need to be talking to your people, to your ministry, about who you are, how you can serve, how you can help them. Every single day. Because people are busy. They've got a lot of stuff going on. And there's a lot of noise. Okay, that's looking a lot better. And so the energy of debt is, there's nothing I can do. And in my experience, the energy of debt is learned helplessness, like ice cold learned helplessness. And I think it's probably the biggest lie that's been imposed, and I mean imposed, on the lower classes and the minorities of society. So it is a complete lie. Okay, it is a complete lie. And one of my biggest regrets is how much of my life I let it control. So much of my life would be different if I believed that I was able to create money. And that only shifted about 2 years ago. Okay, so let's just take a minute and release as much of this learned helplessness as we can. Because it's not true. You can make money. You are a creator, therefore you can create money. And let's release all the stuff around the collective consciousness. And show you that it can be done instantly. So I'm going to trigger a load of people here, but screw it, it's honest. £10,000 is not a lot of money. £20,000 is not a lot of money. £100,000 is not a lot of money. £1 million is not a lot of money. By global standards, by average person standards, you are middle class if you're making around $1 million. Okay, so you need to shift your perspective. If you go to a lot of women's abundance conferences, they're talking about making your first 5K, your first 10K. But when I go to the guys' ones, they're talking about making your first 100 million, your first billion, your first 200 million. Like, their consciousness is a completely different level abundance-wise. Their faith in themselves is fierce. And that's what we need in the feminine as well. What is this? Maybe you can make 1,000 or 5,000. What is this? Of course you have infinite abundance. You create life from your womb. Life, right? A 14-year-old girl can make another life. There is not technology on the planet that can do that. You are effing powerful. Like, powerful beyond measure, powerful beyond our understanding. You really think that you are intelligent enough to do something like that without even trying? It's effortless, right? It's from an active pleasure, and you don't have what it takes to create money. So I want you to let Archangel Michael start cutting away whatever it is, these lies that your mother told you, your father told you, the community told you, that you couldn't make money. For goodness sake, you are a manifestation of abundance. There we go. Right, and this visibility thing is coming up again. So a lot of you are waiting until you are ready before you start making offers. You're like, well, if I had a bit more healing experience, well, if I'd seen an instant healing for a disease, well, if I'd manifested 10,000 for my client, then I'd be more confident putting myself out there. Look, it's not how it works. Trust is not built on you already having done things. Otherwise, nobody would ever become a teacher, a doctor, a nurse. It's done on you showing up every day and you doing your best every day. It's not done on you already having the previous experience. It's a catch-22. If you're not going to show up until you have experience, you're never going to have the experience to show up. Okay? So you show up as you are. And you offer the very best that you can. And that what's your best will change. I had an English tutor when I was a kid because my family wasn't, my family was Brazilian. So well, we didn't speak English as the first language. So I had to learn English when we immigrated to Scotland as a little girl. And my English tutor used to say, best, better, best. May you never rest until your best is better and your better best. Right? What is your best now is not what's going to be your best in a year's time. Is not what's going to be your best in 20 years' time. Right? So start where you are, be authentically where you are, and know that where you are has value. It has great value, and that value will only increase with time, right? But really work on that worthiness and really work on your visibility, showing up every single day, getting organized so that that can happen and you can still rest, right? There we go. Gosh, I'm so passionate today, but I'm so passionate because I love you and I don't want you guys to suffer. Okay, so I'm going to pull all this energy of debt and we're going to replace it with the energy of proactivity, of miracles, of abundance, of visibility, of strategy, of clarity, of focusing only on what you can do. Okay, that's better. Hi, Sky. M here. Hi, Amelia. Could you please ask angels if I should keep or sell the flat in Poland? Not wanting to go back to live there, but I can't let go. My dad gave it to me. Thank you so much. Okay, my instinct when I'm tuning into you is that you should Airbnb it, or you should rent it, but I'm just going to pick a card anyway. Angels. Okay. Queen Ether, the morning star. My ego is in service of my soul, and I trust my soul's divine timing. Okay, so what this is telling me immediately as I read that is that there's actually a blessing on this flat. Your father blessed it. So it's one of your blessings. So if you want to sell it, you're going to have to remove the blessing. If you'd like that blessing removed, then say yes. And what we will do is we'll change its form. Okay, so instead of the blessing being the apartment, the blessing can become the income. Okay, but your father had visions for this. He's like saying he wanted you to always have somewhere safe, even in your retirement, etc. So there's something here around financial maturity. Are you mature enough that if you sell this apartment, you're going to invest this income instead of what's it called? Buy a liability or something that isn't going to give you return on interest. There's something coming in really strong here from him that's like, she needs a financial education. This is like, I don't know if this is your only investment. This is coming in really strong. Ether represents the powerful combination of feminine intuition and divine timing. Ether was a Hebrew orphan born with the name Hadassah. Raised by her cousin, she lived with the Jewish community in exile in Persia during the 5th century. Using her brilliance and her intuition, Ether came up with a plan to save her cousin and her people. Her beauty caught the attention of the king. So when his current wife, Vashti, refused to come to him when he called, Ether seized the moment and the king chose her to be his new wife. Then Ether didn't wait for the king to call her. She prepared a large banquet and called for him. Once he was fully in love with her, she revealed that she was a Jew and that Haman had plotted to kill her people. The book of Ether, or Hebrew scriptures, known as the scroll, is read twice out loud, once in the morning and once in the evening. Her name is derived from the word meaning bright star and the morning and the evening star. This is the name she gave to when she courageously trusted her intuition and used it as divine timing to save herself and her people. So there seems to be like a cross, they say star-crossed lovers, like a star-crossed divine timing here. I'm not sure what it is that you want the income for, but I know that it's coming from a space of you wanting to save yourself. So we're back to this. I can't generate enough income without it's like paying Peter to pay Paul somehow. So let's release this energy of debt and show you that you can generate enough to have multiple investments, multiple apartments. And I'm really, like, the divine guidance I got for you was really clear. You need a better financial education. You need to learn how to invest. That right now is not the divine timing. Okay, that you can use your divine timing and that your spiritual gifts are more than enough to manifest the abundance you're looking for in your life. But you don't have to steal from Peter to pay Paul. Right? Abundance is about creating more. It's not about pulling, like removing something from one area so you have enough over here. And a lot of people do that. They're like, oh, I want to do university, so I'm going to stop going to the gym. Oh, I want to buy a car, so I'm going to stop buying something here. They'll pull one expense and sacrifice another area for it instead of actually increasing their abundance. So can we expand out your energy field so that your abundance increases? There we go. Hi, Sky. Can I please request a scan for my nephew, my sister's son? He seems to have some weird energies around him. I have her permission. Thank you so much. My love, I don't know how old he is, but I'm just going to call on Archangel Michael and ask under the law of grace. Under the law of grace means that if it's not, we don't have his consent or permission, it's not going to happen. I'm going to ask Archangel Michael to give him an energetic vacuum under the law of grace and to cut the cords of any entities, substances, or people that aren't for his highest and best good. But the guidance I'm getting is that she needs to trust herself. Her son is not in good company. And she needs to change his circle of friends. She needs to take divine action. She's being given correct divine guidance that he's not okay and that it's because of the people he's surrounding himself with, and it's time to change those people and that he's too young to understand that. The other thing that it's important to teach him is that you choose your circle of friends. One of the things that I was taught in primary school, which I think is completely wrong, is that you should be friends with everybody, right? You should be friends with people that you love and that love you and that you're good for and that are good for you. You should not be friends with everybody, right? And it's an unfair expectation of children to be friends with everybody and to like everybody. And then it makes them vulnerable to predators. Okay, so let's take a moment to just release all the ways in which he was told to just be friends with whoever. And you're actually going to have to teach him the truth that his inner circle is the most important thing he's ever going to choose in his life. And that the way his friends behave, right, because belonging is such an important part of the human heart, is going to be a direct influence on how he behaves. And there's a lot of pulling away, a lot of isolation. I don't know if she's busy or if but she's not emotionally available. This kid is lonely. So it's about, like, the angels are really saying to me, it's about I'm going to call on Archangel Metatron as well to get this kid back on the right path under the law of grace. But they're really saying, like, there's going to be some anger here. Like, when you call him back, when you call him home as his mother, he's angry. He feels betrayed. He feels abandoned. And he feels like nobody understands him, like he's completely alone. There's going to be anger here. Like there's a lot of grief over the time he's lost with you and with another parent figure they're showing me. There's just a lot of grief. He feels like he's been completely abandoned, like just dropped off. I don't know if it's at school or somewhere else. And this is also relevant to age as well. But he feels like when he's home, everyone's busy, either working or doing their own thing. And he's like an inconvenience. He's this fury here. So there's going to have to be real emotional maturity. There's going to have to be parenting classes. They're going to have to be retraining and how to be conscious parents here for this kid to be able to come home. Otherwise, you can remove him from the toxic circle, but he's just going to find another group of angry kids because he is so angry. Okay, so let's just take a moment to do a healing on the family constellation. And just bolster the faith that this miracle can happen, this healing can be done. And asking for divine intercession. I'm going to bring in Mother Mary as well under grace to help guide the mother as well as the son. So I'm not going to lie to you guys. It's really hard. I love being a parent. I love being a mom. But it's really hard. It's really hard working all day at a job and then having the energy, love, nurturing, presence, and discipline required to be present with your children, no matter what age they are, right? It is like having not 2 jobs, but like 4 or 5 jobs, okay? So you understanding that it's hard means that you are better prepared for what you're facing and better able to deal with your failures or why you're failing and better able to adjust your life or adapt your life to that. Okay. Hi, Sky. Kirsten Warsing. Hi, Sky. I'm so glad I made it today. I'm really glad you made it today, too. I would love advice on meeting divine partner and healing business. What are my next steps? Thank you so much. Sending you love. Okay, so what I'm seeing very clearly when you ask me that is that your divine life partner, you're going to meet him as you are preparing your events, as you are doing your spiritual teaching. And he is already a coach and a teacher as well. So a big part of you meeting him and recognizing him is you becoming you fully, right? It's really important. It's going to put you in the right circles, in the right geography for that meeting to occur. They're showing me that you're putting off. Part of you doesn't feel experienced enough to be running events, particularly live events. They're showing me that I think you're the reverse of me. So I got used to running live events, and then I had to learn how to do it online, and that was what threw me out of my comfort zone. Okay, them on the other hand, they are. You, on the other hand, you got used to starting online. I'm not sure if it's with lives or with DMs, etc. But you're lacking confidence with running live events. So let's just clear that energy, that fear of being invited, that fear of traveling, that fear of saying yes. Ooh. Okay. Okay, I'm going to do one last one. Okay, Sandy saying, hello, I'd like to ask the angels if I should resume work at my previous job next Wednesday, please. Oh, no. No, you hate it. You don't want to do it. No, don't go back. That's what the angels are saying. It's like, this is like, you keep going back. I don't think this is the first time you've had this question, not to me, but to your angels, because they're going, you've been asking this for a while. You already know the truth. You're such a good person. You are such a good person. You do not deserve to be in a job that you don't enjoy. And it's not about how much good the job does or about, just the security. It is about you being in a place of joy. Because if you are not in a place of peace and you're not in a place of joy, then that blocks your abundance, even in that job. So let's take a moment to just cut the umbilical cord, right, to this job as being the source of your abundance, and plug you back into God as the source of your abundance, because that is the truth. Okay, let's do our closing prayer. O great spirit, Father Sky, Mother Earth, the winds, the waters, my Father, my Mother, Atanaha, all that is. We thank you for our lives, and we thank you for these good people. We thank you for all that we are and all that we are to become. We dedicate our time spent together and our relationships with one another to you. We ask that our suffering be ended and our pain be lifted to the love and to the peace that lay beyond. Aho, amen, namaste. Love you guys. Lucy's going to be coming on starting next week to do live angel readings with you in the afternoon at 5 p.m. Okay, I'm still going to be doing my 1 until 2, but she will be coming on to take care of you guys in the evening as well. So you're going to have 2 of us to do readings for you and to take better care of you. I love you very much.